Good morning. Another beautiful rainy day to do a bunch of work in. And I'm thinking this morning about relationships and in particular like partnership. The notion that we all receive different bits of information in our day, and sometimes it's important to have the space to share that information with each other and to make sure that all the different bops and bits of life are known by each of the parties. And a practice that my wife and I have is every morning we sit and drink tea. Now we do like a Chinese Kung Fu tea style, so we've got really tiny cups and we do multiple steepings of teas. And it takes us about an hour to go over things, and in that time we generally cover a vast majority of what we need to talk about. And it's also a nice space where, our kids aren't necessarily completely dominating the scene, and it's also good from the context of having that communicative time set aside every day. It can be really easy to just be caught up in our actions, like eating or doing some level of chore together, but it can often be difficult to actually communicate in those spaces depending on all the other factors that are occurring. And I'm just wondering out there how you keep the communication in your relationship alive and make sure that you're not backlogged with things to talk about. It seems like I frequently hear from different people around the idea of needing counseling and things like that their channels of communication are not as open as they could be. And so there's backlogs developed around all this. I'm seeing how some of these old brassicas are really tearing down the, what do they call this? The currants here. Let's get a little, sometimes you want your currants growing and everything else is just covering them up. Kind of what I see in this realm of communication and having that space for it to happen is, you want to be able to have the plants there that you want. But if things build up too long, it makes it much more complicated to keep the space clear. Anyway, how do you keep good communication happening in your life and relationship? Let me know down below in the comments or shoot me an email. Love to hear from y'all. Remember, have too much fun. Thanks for watching and subscribing.